One day on this planet, we're going to stop and we're going to think and we're going to realize that the concept of perfection is stupid. It's highly remedial, highly ineffective, and just all out pointless. You know what I'm talking about? Like, perfection isn't a thing. You know how people now they say it's a thing. This is something that's never been a thing. Okay, I know as younger people we were taught that there was this perfection out there in the universe, this perfected being. I don't know if there's a God, if there isn't a God, but I will say this: at the very most, he, she, or they is at best perfectly imperfect. Okay, because if they're as smart as me, and I'm sure they're way smarter than me if they exist, they would realize that perfection is highly fucking boring. It's extremely boring, and while it's okay to be bored, even when you're bored and the creativity which flows through boredom a lot of times, that creativity isn't based on something that fits every little box that people try to fit you in or fit their concepts in, and then they never want to like reassess things. I was having this conversation with this security guard in my building from what, South Africa? No, he was from Egypt. He was Egyptian, and he said he's like a psychologist or something like that. I don't remember exactly which one it was, but he basically studies the mind. And the thing he was talking about how people, they come in contact with other cultures, culture shock. And he had a culture shock himself when he came to this country because he had never experienced racism in the way that he, experienced here. It's more complicated, right? You got a lot of different variety of skin color on the continent of Africa, right? And for lack of a better way to say it, let's just say he's more white Egyptian than black Egyptian. And we were sitting there talking about Cleopatra and about how by the time she came around, really she wasn't like Osiris or some dark skinned black Egyptian person. But all of that aside, the whole idea is that you have people who like to, even in reference to history, they want to remember things fondly and put it in the box, So Cleopatra had to be black because, well, a lot of Egyptians were black, so she had to be black, you know? When Egypt and modern day Jews and all of this stuff, like people are just all mixed up. People are mixed up in this country, and not just about their politics, but like genetics. Okay, I know that I have a little itty bitty white dude floating through my bloodstream. My great grandmother was fucking white as snow. Okay, and that's okay. That's okay. That's okay that I got on that little tangent about racial matters and the way people see each other, because there is no perfection. Okay, that's the first mistake. The first mistake is that we interact and we have these expectations of people. We have these expectations of ourselves, which causes us to not truly interact with people in a positive way. You understand what I'm trying to say? And it destroys us. It destroys our progress as a species. It destroys, our ability to be creative and be truly expressive and open to other things, new things. And you know, I just need to remind myself of that every day that, nobody's perfect and you ain't either. Nobody's perfect and you ain't either. And as long as I can get to that, cause see, I used to be very much. I don't know. I felt like it dug in my self conscious, where I was, oh, I gotta write the perfect poem, the perfect note. I gotta perfect my speech. And then I realized I don't. I can make art out of imperfection. That's all it is. We're humanity. It's it. At the end of the day, we're just doing the best we can. We're just doing the best that we can, and that's what I want to continue to do. So I'm not really interested in being perfect, going to the perfect schools. People will appreciate you and then insult you in the same breath. They're like, oh, you seem so smart. Why aren't you in school? I'm like, wait a minute. Am I smart or do I seem smart? Doesn't seem like whatever time I spent in school was enough. And maybe all of my intelligence can come from a university, some type of establishment where they teach. Maybe everything learned doesn't have to be formal. I just, we're just so high strung. Like the new version of perfection is just not looking stupid. And I already spoke about that. You know, you're on thin ice as soon as you go outside. You didn't even do anything wrong or questionable. You're just afraid to just be who you are. And I'm done with that. And I will keep programming myself day by day to keep reminding myself that I'm done with that shit. I don't want to be perfect. I don't care if I'm loved by everybody. Yeah, yes, I would appreciate not receiving much hate, which is why I don't really offer it to people. But at the end of the day, I just think perfection is for suckers. Because no matter how clean and cool you appear to some of these people, at the end of the day, you're just a facade. You're just an image. You know, hold on to your rough edges, okay? That's what life is really about. And with that said, rant over. Let me know what y'all think. Peace.